Sure. Okay, you're on the air.
That's right.
And so watch what you say. Okay, okay, we can start, but I would like to have, oh, there's Ann. Hello, Ann.
Hello.
Welcome, Ann.
Hello.
I see Keith is there. I'm not sure I know Janet. Okay, I'm going to count on you guys to help me step through this. Now, I did do some homework on some of Adam's processing of it, so he has some unbelievably good techniques that brings out detail, and we'll go through those.
Mhm.
All right, I guess we got 7 so far.
Yeah.
Well, oh, do I hear somebody on Slack said something?
Yeah. Something turned on.
Oh, okay. So Devin says he'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah, he's having Wi-Fi issues.
Yeah, looks like that. When I load up I posted the agenda as a PDF. When that, when I call it up, it looks like it's been misprinted. Does that look that way on yours too? On Slack?
No, it looks good to me.
Huh. And maybe I just don't know why that it's just every other letter seems to be garbled.
No, that's perfect.
Okay, well, I know what it says, so I guess that's what we'll start with. We'll wait till Devin gets back. So you had Stelina out a couple nights in the last week or so?
You know, Jeremy last minute said there's a Boy Scout event, and I happened to have it then, so I took it out there, and it's a good thing I did, because I think there were 60 people there looking through one telescope.
Oh my.
So at least we had Stelina to where we could, you know, have like a group of like 30 people at a time look at it.
Share the load, sure.
Yeah, and I brought it to a couple of other events. They really loved it at Shelby Farms when I brought it there. My daughter and I were renaming nebula based on what we saw, so and everybody was getting a big kick out of it.
Freddie said you got a good picture of the of the Eagle Nebula M16.
Eagle comes across really good on that.
Is it? Oh, cool.
Yeah. When you get about 20 stacks, it really pops in.
Huh. All right, Devin's back. There he is. Hey, Devin.
Devin.
Hello, hello.
Are you in Maine or are you in Canada?
Still in Canada, just outside of Montreal, Quebec.
Okay.
So I figured I'd stop over for the meeting.
Excellent.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get going. We're recording it for those who can't make it. I see Keith. Okay. All right. I'm going to try to share my screen if I can do it. Okay.
Now, Devin, do I hear something in your background?
Oh, yep, probably. A second.
Thank you.
Hey, there you go. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Those of you remember, well, first of all, the agenda. Let's any just burning hot topics that we need to discuss as a group. I see Freddie's not with us, or some of the old heads, Rick. But ask away if there is something. Okay, going once, twice, 3 times. All right, here's where we left off, and this is the last week or last month. I'm sorry. This is what we did on in terms of the left one is the RGB linear state, and then the right one is the illuminates. So that's just, we did a good job to get to this point. Did a good job DBE, noise reduction. I sure do like that noise X, because it makes the steps in the future, I mean, the future part of this process so much easier. Okay, so what I did, that's sort of off the file. I created a clone, and this is what we use. So the question I'd ask of the group, what's the first thing you do when you start processing? First thing, at least in my opinion.
You mean other than backing everything up?
Oh, no, besides that.
Yeah, okay.
You mean from this point on, or at
No.
the very beginning?
At the very first thing.
Oh, I just blink through all my images and see what I got.
Okay, the very first thing I do is, oops, wrong thing, wrong one. I look for what I'm going to target for. What's the best that I can find out there? So I know what I'm using, or the processing to do. So this is right off Adam's website. So, okay, this is what I'm going to go for. That's what, and with our data, that's what I'm going to go for. That makes sense. I mean, so like Devin, you had a question on your M31. Go to Adam's website and just see what his M31 looks like, and that gives you a good idea of how do you process the color and the stars and yada whatever. So this is what Adam his final product, using the process we're getting ready to look into. Okay, makes sense. I spent some time this afternoon using basically his process, and this is what I came up with, which is not too far off from what he had. In fact, I think I might like mine better, but that's a personal preference. So that's what I worked through this afternoon here. Okay.
Carol, on yours, can you show me that again?
Sure.
Can you hit at the bottom left, that circular thing, so I see it at 100%? Yeah. Yeah, wow. That looks really good.
Yeah, but I wish I could say that I knew all the techniques to do it. I do now, but I didn't at the time, because Adam's got he's got a full understanding of all the math and all the capabilities of these tools.
Right.
Which, that's absolutely remarkable. But so if you want to compare it to the our RGB, look how flat it looks. I mean, if you look at, see how there's no color in it. There's no H2 regions. There's no depth of the spiraling arms. So we're going to take it from this to either mine, which is close to Adam's, or Adam's. But always, again, I visualize the target. So how do I get there from the very beginning? Then you do the steps of the blinking and all that. And what we did last month was to get to the point where we have the two pieces, if you will, the luminous and then the RGB. So we're going to start on the luminance, and if you look at the spiral arms, they're not really well defined. And so he took us through a process of bringing out the detail in this. So the one thing that he stressed numbers of times is that if you click on here, you see the K number. Well, let's see, wait, make sure I'm getting the right thing here. Read out data. Yeah, the K number is you can't have it too bright. He said 0.8 is the highest you can do, or the color it'll oversat. I mean, it'll over fade it, if you will. Won't absorb the color. So it's something that you need to be cognizant throughout the process. Okay, so what he said we want to do is use the HDMRT tool to bring out the detail in the spiral arms. So what we're going to do is to make a preview. Has anybody used the new substitution tool?
I have not.
Have you heard of it?
No.
Adam came out with that, I don't know, a few weeks ago. Because in this video that I watched him on, it was a couple years ago. So he had to create all this substitution. You'll see it, how it's applied, but he did it all by pixel math, which and somebody put to, either he or someone else created a script that really did a super job on how to handle a substitution. Okay, so we have the preview, and that's what we're going to work off of. But the first thing you do is he made three copies, and there we go. And then we're going to put that away for right now. Okay, so we have 3 copies here. And we'll work on this as long as we want to tonight. Hopefully get done with it pretty quick, reasonably quick. Okay, they're all the same. So the tool that he recommends at this stage to start bringing contrast and definition is the HDMRT, which I don't, do I have that here? Yes. Okay, the standard number of layers, the default number of layers is 6. He said, always use the lightness mask. And I personally never have tried other than the original default scaling function, but there's a whole bunch of them. And with his experience, he said that based on the size of the pixels, I mean, I guess the stars and such, he said the Gaussian 5 is the best for this, at least bringing out some of the detail. So we're going to try that. And one thing I forgot to do first, forget all this. I'm going to close these back down because I have to stretch it first. Sorry.
Oh, you have to make the decision, don't you?
Yeah, doggone it. Okay, we're going to go back here and stretch this guy. Yeah, you have to. I don't want to go to the smaller one here. And what this, he uses this a lot, the screen transfer function, which I don't, but for the sake of Adam, that's what I would be using. So anyway, let me try the original. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm trying to get the right black point and stretching. And so then you use the histogram.
Was this an eyeball process?
Or what?
Did you do this by eyeball or measurements, or what makes you want to have this level of contrast?
It's eyeball.
Okay.
I mean, it just looks, the sky should not be black. It should have some amount of lightness to it.
Right.
And then just drag that over to here. You see, drag it over to the histogram. Then you take that instance and put it on top of here. And then what it does, it's doing the screen transfer expansion plus the histogram. So you just close it out here.
Right.
Okay. So now it's a linear, it's now a non-linear, I'm sorry, image. So now we got to go back to the, let's make some previews. And you really want the previews, and the reason why, which I didn't know, is that the HDMRT, and many of them are global functions, as opposed to just what you're looking at. You can't even mask it out. global means that it takes into account the entire image versus just the preview. So what you do, you create the preview, and then it then is that's the global. So then we'll make the 3 copies.
Well, that's great. I didn't know it did that.
Yeah, some of the ones are that way, and some of them are not. Okay, so we'll get these out of the way. And which one was the, okay, that's preview. Do that. Okay, we'll take back to the HDMRT with 6 layers. And the layers, as way I understand it, is where the detail resides. And so he said, try it this way. Basically, his message is play around with it, the settings. Well, he's done that. That's his living. That's what he does 24/7 probably. So now we'll drag it to it. See what it did to the spider arms?
That was dramatic.
Very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, well, that's kind of a little bit more than I would like. This is Adam talking. He says, so what we'll do is we'll take another one of these guys. Well, dang it, I didn't mean to do that. He said this time we're going to do 5 layers, and we're going to do a small scale 8. And again, this is all based on his experience, so I can't say it otherwise, other than it sure works. So we'll drag that over there. See the difference in the detail of the small detail versus the very large areas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what he says, okay, we've got the original here to the left, we got the small scale in the middle, and we got the very large. And he said, I got an idea. I says, I'm gonna combine them. So he gets pixel math, where pixel math is. There it is. And he said, okay, we're going to do the expression editor and create a brand new one. So 0.34 times the original, which was preview 13. Is that what it is? Yeah, 13. That should have gone on the other side. Sorry. Times preview 13 plus 0.33 times preview 12 plus 0.33 preview 11. So do you see what I'm doing? I'm combining the all three.
You need to put a plus after the 3 to the right.
Oh, no, I need to put an asterisk. That's
okay. That's multiplying. Okay.
Yeah, what you do a parse, then if this looks right, it will, you've got the thing wrong. It would have shown up if let's see what happens when I don't do it. And then I'll do a parse. See, it's an invalid character. It tells you got an error.
Nice.
So you put that there and go back here. The part of your process, you always, when you use pixel math, you do a parse just to see if it's good. Okay, that's good. And what we're going to do now is create a new target. And so here we go. And what that did, it created the sum of what you saw there. And this is it.
Oh, wow. That's a great idea.
It is a great idea because you get the small scale and the large scale plus the original in a kind of a very smooth depiction of what the scale looks like. Okay, so now Sal, if you want to come, what was 12 the original? No, not that 12. That's 13. So we've gone from this to look at the amount of detail that's come out.
Yes. And it didn't mess with the stars that bad either. because of lightness mask,
No, but if you did, if I had,
which is great.
let me show you, let's see if I can, let's see, yeah, right here's the, if we go look at the whole, this is the original stretched luminance. If I do the HDRMT on the whole shooting match, watch what happens. Because it's now global.
Mhm.
And see, you see how faint?
Yeah.
It didn't bring out any detail. So
Mm-mm.
you really have to target the area. Because if you don't do that, it takes into account all this background and all the stars.
That's important to know.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, I've used this for a lot of years and didn't know that it wasn't global. It wasn't a global, or it was a global approach. Okay, so now we have to utilize what we have. Okay, we want image 52, which is we're going to call that the enhanced. Oops. Okay, just for temporarily. Okay, and now what you want to do is to put this right there, right in this preview. You want to replace the left-hand side preview with the right-hand side preview. Okay, so what did we talk about to do that with?
Not pixel mask.
Nope. Well, it is. I'm certain it is pixel math. Oh, it's a script, I think. It's a script, sorry. Substitute.
Okay.
So now we have a script that I'll show you this way, and then I'll show you the right way to do it. The source is enhanced loom, and then the target is the loom. Okay, so we're going to run it.
Oh, wow.
It's there now, except we have a bit of a problem. Delete. If you look closely, you can see that. See the real fine line there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Well, he goes about a process of creating a very intricate mask. Again, this is before so many of the other script has been written. So it's as simple as I can get rid of it. No, I'd probably keep that there. As simple as how do I create a mask that's a specified area? Anybody?
Star mask.
Game. Because we're just gonna put it here on the galaxy, and so that line won't show up.
Mhm.
So there. And it's really, I mean, it's just clever as all get out. But he did this all by hand. Because this was like 2 years ago or so before game ever. And I'm going to create a gradient mask so it's kind of so it blends in nicely.
Mhm.
Okay, there's a gradient mask. And so we're going to put this baby right there. And if anybody has questions, stop me. But you see how
Yeah.
there's the gradient mask. We'll hide it. And then we'll go to the substitute again now. And the target is the source is the enhanced loom, and the target is the loom, and we have it in place now, and there is no line.
Yeah.
Well, I got to get rid of the mask first, but oh, come on, and it's gone. So now we have our loom. I mean, that's about as good as you get. You might want to do a further stretch. But just look at the detail that's in that.
Mhm.
Let me take a look at the histogram, see if this makes any difference. We'll maybe change the black point just a tiny bit. Get a little more contrasty. So I think we're about ready.
Mhm.
Does that look good?
That looks great.
You know, I wish I could take credit for it.
It's a lot better than mine. I've been trying to follow along. Mine looks terrible.
Well, it's just practice. And when I did it the first time, I didn't have nearly the definition of the galaxy arms. But this brings out the galaxy arms, and you see the brightness of the see the K number, the third one down.
Right.
He said keep that below 8, or it won't absorb the color when you combine the LRGB. Okay, and we're well within that range. So we
Yeah.
now have a loom that's getting ready to do its thing. Okay.
How do you get that K number? When I hold my cursor on the image, I don't get that window.
Bottom right there, right?
Yeah. See, let me move this out of the way here. You see this little guy right here? Can you see that?
I
No,
don't
you're
see-
below, but yeah,
Well, okay. Well,
Oh, I see it. I see it down there.
it's way down there, Ann. You see it?
click on it.
Oh, and read out data.
Yeah, and it what you want it's CIE.
RGBK.
Well, yeah,
Got
there's a whole bunch of ones. We'll use the LCH here in a bit, but in the readout mode, readout size, you want about 5 to 7 pixels as opposed to a single pixel. So, but that's how you change out the readout mode.
But then how do you get the readout?
Well, just click on it. Just hold it. Just take your left mouse and
Oh, I got it. Okay.
thing.
Thank you.
Okay, so oh, shoot. What we want to do now is to stretch this guy. And let me see. To me, the color isn't exactly right. Does it show up as a little bit purplish to you guys? No?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Okay, well,
A little too much red in the, little bit too much red in it.
yeah, we can separate these guys and then try to do something about it. Yeah, it's got a little, maybe about there. Oh, dang it. This is very sensitive.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty dang close.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do then, here's your histogram again. And you take the instance here and put it on this bar, and then bring it from there to here. We now have a nonlinear image. Okay, then that's the beginning. Now what he did, which I didn't see any benefit of, but I'll talk about it, is to take arcsine stretch. Have you ever used that?
I use it quite a bit.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And
I love that tool.
because, okay, here we are. So tell me how you do it. I mean,
Well, yeah, you're about the level where I would use it. It only works in a nonlinear image, but it really can, whatever colors in the stars or in the galaxy, it really brings them out. It saturates them.
okay, well, we have the stretch factor, and we can bring it up. It's now starting to stretch.
Right.
You can see the colors of the stars are coming out.
Right.
And see, I don't know why. And you got to move the black point up to the point where it starts showing green dots. that means you're clipping the black. Let me go.
Right.
Well, this is a lot higher than I was.
And you can fine tune with the bottom, the black point with the bottom one.
Oh,
the
yeah.
one
Oh,
below.
yeah, sure. Yeah. But I think that looks probably good.
Means that it's not proportional.
Say that again. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, that doesn't look too bad as a good starting. I mean, I'll see if I can get a little bit more bright. Well, I'm having a better effect than I did this afternoon on it. So maybe there obviously is worth something. Okay, so here we'll execute that. And then get rid of the preview. Okay, now we have a fully stretched. It's kind of modeled to me, is it? We probably are due for some noise reduction. Let me do this for. I mean, see if there's any curves makes a difference here. We'll add a little contrast to it. That doesn't look too bad. Okay. So now we're ready to do some noise reduction because I see noise in the background. Can you see it?
Yeah. It's not too bad. It's not too bad though.
Well, yeah, but let's run those.
Yeah.
Those who haven't got the noise terminator, I mean, save up. It's not much money, but it is the best thing. Because otherwise, you have to use all the tools, masking and everything else, or you just run this guy, and we'll see what it does in terms of the. I mean,
Wow.
it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
And it's just
And it kept the colors of the stars. It kept the shapes of everything. It's amazing.
Absolutely. It is amazing. Just absolutely amazing. So what are we ready for now, Steve?
Well, we need to bring the luminance in.
There we go. Yeah, the LRGB. So we'll do that.
I got a few questions here.
Well, okay, let's just stop.
Okay. The transfer functions. What do you think of 0.5?
Well, what I was going to actually experiment with that. So the lightness, I don't bother, but you can get some color at this stage put into it. You're starting to show a nice color in the stars and the galaxy now.
Right.
But let's just go ahead and try it with and without. So we want the luminance, wherever it is, right there. And what you do, you just drag it over. Here's where the magic begins. So you see the color just really popped in there, and the galaxy has got way more definition now.
Yeah. Can you do an undo and a redo on this process?
Sure.
Wow. Okay.
Big difference. But now I want to go ahead and put a little more color. Make this the saturation. It's kind of counterintuitive. Lowering it means more saturated.
Okay.
So we'll do this. We'll drag it over and get some more color at this stage. See how it brought out way more color?
It did. Okay. So it does make a pretty big difference.
Yeah. So I've never used the lightness, but the color or the saturation works pretty nicely.
You kind of need to, because when you throw luminance in, it kind of diffuses.
It definitely does.
Yeah.
Yes, it lightens it. Okay, so now we have what Adam wanted to do, and I'm at a place where I think I want to crop. because if you think his final product right here, I mean,
Mhm.
he cropped it sometime early. And I cropped it a little bit later when I did mine, but I think this is probably as good a time. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay, what's the tool? And
Dynamic crop.
there you
right.
go. Yes. Great. Okay, so we'll just we'll get about I don't know, something like that. So good, centered.
It's a little high. The galaxy's high.
Okay, what high? What's that mean? Not centered? Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you need to move the box up a little bit.
Oh shoot. Let's not do that. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, let's try that again.
Yeah, that looks good.
I hate to lose all that background though. How's that?
Looks great.
All right, we're going to execute it. There's our image. Okay. So what we have, see the blues? He said, he was saying, I really like to have more blue in the galaxy. This is his understanding of it. So, okay, so how do you do that? Well, this is a kind of a clever, you've seen the color mask?
Yes, I use it.
Well, okay, I'll show you how in his opinion, the right way to do it. So, okay, we're gonna go back and cancel here. And what you want to look for, if you want to just enhance the colors that you want, not everything else, you take your pointer and you choose the LC8 readout here, CIE LCH,
Mhm.
and the H is hue. That's what that stands for. Okay, so you go over here and say, okay, what is it's a 265, roughly 277, and the blues in here, and 269, and 275. So basically what I would say, if we did 270 to like 285, there's some 285s up here, the brighter blues, 283. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to create a mask just with those hues, and that's in the galaxy color mask. And what you do, you put them here.
Oh, wow. I didn't know this is great.
Yeah, this was a big learning for me.
So you're isolating the hue is representing the blue.
Yes.
And you're isolating the blue ridges. Okay.
These are just the blues.
Wow.
That's incredible. I've used that color script before to isolate colors, but I didn't realize you could specify a range.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Devin. This is amazing.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
Well, so because what you do, if you look at the blue, you just click on the blue, look at the range, all of a very low to a very high.
Yeah.
The hue. So that's why you do that. So I said I wrote it down here, 270, 285. So we now have a mask that's the hues we want to do something with.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Well, and now we'll do something with the histogram here. Let's do the blue channel. And let's move it forward a bit. And you can see, I don't know whether you saw the change in blue, did you?
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Before and after. Whoop, too far, sorry. So that's after. To me, that's starting to look some really cool blue.
That's an interesting color.
We could even do one more shot and see what it looks like. That's, you're starting to get a lot of blue there.
Mhm.
Let's go. Let's not do that. Maybe just maybe tweak it a little bit more here and call that good. Okay. So there we go. Okay. So now we have a, but it did do the background.
Yeah, maybe you need to put that that thing you just showed us a second ago, that game.
Well, it's already got a mask on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I let me undo this time here. I think that's probably a good position. We can always reduce the saturation later on if it doesn't come out the way we want. Okay, so we want the blues. Okay, the other thing that which is kind of a cool feature or use of tools, we'll get rid of the mask here, is to see that you can see the HA in it, the HA regions.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but those are he calls them little gems. And so let's figure out how to do that. And kind of a cool way of doing it. Get this out of the way. We'll separate the channels. See there's let me make sure I'm doing the right thing here. Let me close these down. Try that again. I don't know why it's adding the R1, B1.
Red, green.
It should be acting on this guy. Let me try some. I put some other stuff here in the background. Nope. You know, you have multiple workspaces that you can do stuff on, that you can down here. I assume everybody knows that.
Yes, down
Okay.
there bottom left.
Yeah, you have 4 workspaces that you can do work on. Okay, let's go back here again. And why doesn't this split RGB channels? I don't know why it named them that. Now it's got the 2 on it. Maybe it's the second generation. What we want to work on is not the blue, not the green. We want to do the red. And the way he did it was to take the medium scale median transform. And I left in the numbers. Basically, these are the pixel scale. I mean, 8 pixels, 4 pixels, et cetera, et cetera. That's how large the detail is. And so you can play around with this bias here and to see how it brings them out. Because what we're doing now, we're really going to make the red brighter and everything else less. Now this is where you need to have a mask, because if you do this to the whole image, you'll be enhancing every little red star that's out there. So we'll go back and get a the game. And that's about right. And I'm going to use a gradient edge mask this time. Okay. So we're only going to work on the galaxy section. So, okay, well, then we're going to execute this. And what you do, you trial and error on the bias. You start off low, 0.005, and kind of work your way up. But if we take a look at here and look what happens to the red, I mean, the little HA regions. Do you see how much brighter they got? I'll go back and forth. You can't see me pointing, but okay, take a look at these HA guys here.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, here.
It's kind of subtle though.
Well, back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you don't want it to be real red. Okay,
Mhm.
so what we just did there was enhance the HA regions by the medium transform tool that I've had very little experience with. The other thing that he suggested was take your curves and make a slight adjustment to the red again. Just kind of bring it down just a little bit on the low end to contrast it, just a hair on the upper end. And so we got, I don't know whether you noticed, but some of the darker regions got darker, which are blues and greens, and the reds became brighter.
Yep.
Okay, so the way you know whether it works or not is to get rid of the mask, and then you do the, where is it? I'm looking right at channel combination. And so we're looking for the that's really interesting. There's a 2 there, but it calls it an R. I mean, no 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Okay, so, and we'll do the combination and see what it looks like. Okay. Well, we clearly brought out the red in the galaxy, but I think we did too much red.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think so?
I do.
Now, a way of getting at that is to here's a way of getting at it. It's interesting how it did shift the blue. And see the blue in the background here on the left, and then it's got what I call normal on the right hand side. I mean, so you got a couple ways that I would do it from here. You get the color saturation. We can bring down the saturation just a hair, and we could actually do it color specific if you wanted to. See, that made a subtle difference there. That's starting to look pretty doggone good to me.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, guys?
That looks great.
You want to try maybe some unsharp mask? Just to see if that makes it. I always do like about 25%, maybe do multiple iterations. And I actually tried it out with topaz and didn't spend much time on it, but his color is a little bit, this is the original. His color blue he's got more blue than we do.
Mhm.
We can go back and adjust. The main thing is we've got captured the steps. What I recommend you do is take the steps we just used and play around with it yourself. And Devin, on your Galaxy, you were asking about galaxies. This is very
Yep.
applicable to how to do it.
Yeah, tonight I've definitely learned some new tricks. I'm gonna go back. I've been having a heck of a time with my M31 trying to bring up the colors in it. I cannot get those blues to pop at all.
Well, you have this. This is the tool to get the blues out, obvious.
I'm also having this issue too when I'm using the NB RGB combination to add my HA data into my RGB data, and whenever I do that, it turns all my luminance green, and I don't know why.
How are you doing that?
Just by using the script.
The,
I think it's a script. I think it's under utilities there.
Are you in a linear state when this happens or non-linear?
Non-linear. I've already stretched it all.
yeah, I'd always do. This is the tool you're using right here.
Yeah.
You make sure you turn off the auto STF. I seem to do that.
Okay.
And then this actually works pretty good. But you have to play around with the how much bandwidth and what scale. I usually go down to about 0.2 and then work my way up if appropriate. But they have.
Oh, okay, so maybe I just need to turn down the scale of the HA data.
Oh yeah, that's how much.
Issue?
Yes, because what it's doing is to go back here. Sorry. Well, let's just take. I don't have EHA data, but we'll go ahead and say the RGB, and it doesn't work. Okay. It's image 67 is what I'm looking for. Come on. There it is. No, I don't know why it's not showing. Oh, well, nonetheless, should. But you put your two images in, and put your HA here. Let me make it up here, and then your bandwidth of your filter. I mean, 3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah, mine's a 3.
Okay, 3. And then I always start here and then do the apply, and it gives you the what it looks like, and it doesn't do anything. Hey, it added some HA that it didn't have. But you just play around with this, and you hit apply again, and generally 100 to me at 1.2 is really a lot.
Yeah, I've noticed.
I
guess so. I've left it at like the those standard settings there. I guess it is set to 1.2, and the HA data in M31 is just it's totally overwhelming. It's too much.
That's what I would have said on your. Again, you go to Adam's website. Pick this what he does. I mean, he's got a 32-inch telescope and tremendous amount of knowledge to do what he does. So those are always the things I look at in terms of what's the target. But I thought we did in an hour here. We did pretty well on getting a good looking galaxy with the pretty good definition on the arms. We could probably do some more blue based on his target. We can go back and do some more blue.
I prefer this, to be honest with you.
Well, he'll tell you right off the bat, it's your own personal taste.
Sure.
I mean, literally, God only knows what it looks like. So,
Can you bring up the original RGB?
original RGB right there.
Yeah, it's just,
But that's linear though. You mean the original, original.
no, that's what, yeah. No,
Oh.
I'm just saying that's fantastic.
Yeah, but we modified this one here though.
Mhm.
If you want to go back to the initial state, let's stretch it.
Yeah.
And this has been cropped too.
Right.
But you see how much fainter it is.
Yeah, look how far it came in just that short amount of time.
Yep. So the new things for me was how to use the blue mask if you want to just enhance the blue, the use of the medium scale transform. And we could have brought out more of the red in the HA regions. I spent several hours this afternoon with my version of it. And so I do have more blue and more red.
Mm-hmm.
So I played with it a lot. Okay, questions?
I have a real basic question.
Okay.
Could you like start with your original RGB and then show me how to do a histogram transformation? It seems
Sure.
like whenever I do it, something goes wrong and I end up with just completely white.
Oh, that's
You got it.
that is.
You got it.
Yeah, those
See that
tools
button
up there, Ann.
See that button right there, Ann?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's just go through the process.
Basically, it's double nuking it, and so you do the transformation, but it still has that screen transfer function there. So it's a double hit.
Well, let's just go through it. I mean, is this?
Well, what is that button? Because I don't have that on my toolbar. I just got a new computer, so I installed
You can
PixInsight like 2 days ago.
Well,
It's not quite set up the way I had it on my old computer.
that's on. That is. Yeah, let's see, where is it?
Open up STF because
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be up there. You can do it with the STF.
Yes, you can. Let's. I'll tell you what. Let's just go through it so we can simulate what she has, and then we can. There's several ways of getting it, like everything else. Okay, so this is what you have. The image that's linear, and you want to stretch it.
Although yours looks a lot better than mine, but yes.
Well, I haven't even done anything to it yet, but we'll just dang it. Okay, that's linear, kind of we want it at. The histogram is here. You signify that you want it RGB. Dang it. Drag it over. Drag it
Wait,
over.
drag what over?
Yeah, the little
Okay,
triangle.
it's called the instance.
Oh, okay, but
Okay, this is what you end up with, right? White.
yeah, I think I missed the first step, so I'm sorry.
That's all right. Let's go back. Okay, so we now have the screen transfer function, and all that is just what you're adjusting the screen.
Right, I got that.
Okay, so you take this instance here and drag it over to the histogram, the base of the bottom.
Oh,
So what that does, it takes the first step of turning into nonlinear.
okay.
And then you drag this instance over to here, and like Steve said, it's a double nuke, if he calls it, just to hit this button here, and it gets rid of what the linear stretching of it.
And the bottom right button of that screen transfer function would do the same thing.
Yes, it'll do the same thing. Let's just show you. Let's go back. Well, crap. Okay, we're here. let's stretch it, adjust it here. So we bring it over here. Here we've got it's whited out, stretch it.
Oh, that reset button. Okay, yeah. Okay, then you can readjust your two triangles, the black point and whatever in the histogram.
In the histogram, if you want to, yeah.
Mhm.
You got, again, what Adam does is he uses this as he goes along. And I kind of like playing with the histogram, but whatever. I guess it's a personal choice.
A lot of people like to use the STF because it cannot do anything permanent to the image. So they play around there, nothing's permanent, and then they bring it over to the histogram,
Yeah.
transfer, and then it's permanent.
The disadvantage is these sliders, you got sometimes
Sensitive.
they're
Yeah, they're kind of hard to move. I like looking at the histogram and the curves better.
Right.
yeah,
I like the graph.
well, that's kind of way, and it's kind of a clunky way. To me, it's a clunky way of doing it.
Mhm.
But that's just me. So
Okay, now it seems to be working. Thank you. I was missing that one essential step.
definitely that was an essential step.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? One of the things that if you look at the future agenda items, I was hoping Canwar would be on tonight. I'd ask him to begin the process of sharing how he does the Hubble palette with his narrowband, and maybe Devin gets started as well. The other one is the second, the tools that are out there in scripts and PixInsight. We ought to just have some images and just try the tools on them. Because it's just learn by doing really makes a difference to me anyway. That's how adults learn by doing. And so, what I'm going to try to do is get Canwar to lead us next time. But I think maybe ought to do is to whoever wants to let me know if you're willing to experiment with a handful of tools, and each one of us take 3 or 4 or 5, and then we can play them with them, and just so you see the experience. Because I've very infrequently, and I'm not sure why I did this, the multi-scale medium transfer. And then I've used this before, but I did it on the global settings, not knowing it's global settings. And nor did I even understand what these things meant. And so if we each took some of these, and Steve, if you have the arc sine stretch,
Mhm.
Unknown code.
That would be, those kind of things you step the group through. And the group, there's only 7 of us or 8, however many is on the Zoom call now, but there's a bunch of them that watch the videos and use these as reference. So.
Right. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, and then this last one, there's a bunch of you folks that use the ASI Air. That would be just that'd be an easy session. So I think we are probably at a stop tonight, unless somebody else has anything else. No.
Nope, I got to grade papers. Sorry.
Okay. Well, we got to do a check here. Is Wednesday night still a good night? Anybody?
Yeah, everybody on mute and give us your opinion on, like, do you like doing it during the weeknight at 7?
Yeah, it seems to be working for me so far.
Well, the advantage is it doesn't interfere with the weekend observing sessions. That was the driver that causes the move.
Mhm.
me personally, I don't care one way or the other. Now, if we're losing people like Freddie and Rick and Kevin, I mean, Kevin, well, Kevin's here, Kenwar and Alan had to go work. He got called out of town on a job, but I don't know. We might want to do it another week or two or a month or two and evaluate at the end of the year and say, is Saturday better after all?
Mhm.
Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay, now I gotta find how to, if we're done, I'm gonna stop the recording if I can find the record. Pause share.
Bottom middle,
Say again?
bottom middle.
Well, you're stop the share. I'm looking at the black bar. This
Mhm.
the participant chat, new share, pause.
Anna's the expert, but she might be grading papers right now.
Stop recording. I found it at the